Alright YouTube, let me start this off by saying I don't know anybody who uses restricted mode on YouTube. I don't know why you'd want to use restricted mode on YouTube. It's just, it would cheapen the experience slightly. What's the point of it? YouTube decided to implement a new filtering system for restricted mode, though, and apparently some people actually do use it. This is news to me. I thought it was just something like parents would put it on their kids' YouTube channel or something. Just leave this off and then enter, I don't know, can you use a password to protect the setting? I don't even know. But they put in their new filtering and now it's blocking some content from like gay and lesbian and bisexual uploaders where they mention like apparently if the term lesbian is in the title it'll filter it out. If the term like same-sex, like same-sex dating tips or whatever is in the title, it'll block that out. And this is the problem. This has been the perennial problem with attempts to implement automated filter style systems into content on a website like YouTube. The problem's not going to go away. I'm not sure why YouTube decided to tweak the system that was already in use, already apparently working well for those who chose to use it at all. It kind of screwed the pooch on that. It probably should have let people know, give them a heads up so that the uploaders could change titles or something. Instead of saying lesbian, just say like, oh, girls that like girls in like quotation marks or something. They're gonna have to do that, I guess, to get around the filter. The big worry might be that YouTube would try to go after like political content. Like, what if they add other terms to these filters? I don't think they should do that. Most people who are using YouTube are adults. The vast majority are adults. Even those that aren't, I would hope that the average person who's actually like absorbing any significant amount of content is at least somewhat mature, as opposed to, people who are like little kids and stuff. And really, that should be left up to the parents. And if they're using a public system, if they're using like a library kiosk or something, well, can't you implement some sort of blocking on the library's end or the school's end or something like that? They used to do that for online browsing when I was younger. Not that it worked, but there were ways around it, certainly, but it, kind of worked, for the average person. I'm not sure what exactly the problem is, but I will say this. People may be slightly overreacting because all they have to do to see those videos is turn restricted mode off. If you don't like the fact that restricted mode is going to do this, that's literally all you have to do. I don't know why exactly you'd have it on. Some of the people that started this Youtubeisoverparty hashtag, they appear to be adults. Why are you using restricted mode in the first place? Why would you need to? What you're afraid? I'm not understanding the logic. Like, would you be afraid of seeing like a thumbnail of two lesbians making out, but at the same time you're going to get upset that that term is filtered under the safe search or the restricted mode or whatever it is? I don't quite understand the logic. I would be much more concerned by YouTube attempting to go after political terms or social terms or something like that. This is an example of where they overstretched a little bit too much in the terms that it's going through in the titles to block out content on a feature that I guess was already in use, or maybe this is a new style of this same feature. Just turn it off. Maybe if half those people who do use restricted mode suddenly stop using it, YouTube will get the hint and fiddle around with it. Ultimately, they should probably just do away with the idea of restricted mode altogether. It's not necessary. I can't imagine that anything close to a majority of YouTubers use it. It's probably some extremely small minority of people. It's really, ultimately, it's kind of pointless. And then you have something like this, where people, they blow it out of proportion. Some of them may not even realize they can turn restricted mode off. Maybe it just like set it that way in default settings or something somehow. And now they think that they're never going to be able to see like gay content again or something, and they're all up in arms. They don't realize they can just literally switch it off or something. And it's pointless. Bickering over it is pointless. You can literally just press a friggin' button. It goes away. There goes the problem. And if you're concerned about other types of content, well, then don't seek that content out. If you see something in a thumb, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to see like violent videos. Okay, well, then don't watch them. You're going to be generally able to tell by the title and the thumbnail if it contains violence. I'm assuming if your main worry is it's blocking out the term lesbian or same-sex or something, that if that's your concern, if that's what you're looking up that you want to see even in restricted mode, you can simply turn it off. You're not going to see a bunch of like gang violence videos or crack smoking because you looked up lesbians or something like that. But it's a weird situation. People think it's a form of censorship. I don't know that it is. I think they added these terms, you know, hoping to appease the people, the 10 people that are using restricted mode, and then they get a huge backlash from it for no reason. It's sort of like Facebook's fact-checking. Yeah, it's maybe not the greatest idea to be using it, but does it really have any effect on day-to-day use of the site? No, because there's a million ways around it. There are ways to completely bypass it. It's completely pointless and toothless. It's not going to work, so why even bother to implement it? But if it is going to remain implemented, at least there's a way around it quite easily. Just turn restricted mode off. That's the best advice that can be given. That's about all. Peace out.